I love it. I love interdisciplinary stuff, yeah. Hi, I'm Josephine Reek. I am a PhD student. I study mostly forest microclimate and vegetation cooling, so apart from the large-scale effects that forests have on climate, trees and forests can also just affect their local temperatures. They provide shade and stuff, so I look how that varies across the world and how we could use that also for cities. Yeah. So there are two main directions I think we can take that. The first direction is that just what happens due to this microclimate, and this is important for example, species survival. So if climate change means that the temperature in the region generally gets, I don't know, half a degree hotter, but the local cooling of the forests makes the forest 2 degrees colder than the environment, then that means that the tree species haven't actually experienced this very hot condition. So they might survive in places where they could otherwise not survive that long because it's getting too warm for them. The same goes for insects in the forest and all kinds of species. So this either allows them prolonged survival or better growing conditions. It might give them more time to migrate to better directions. And obviously this extends to people who live near the forest. This extends to crop plants, for example, that might grow better if it's not quite as hot. And the other side is that we can also actively use this. So the most typical application is in cities. We can plant trees or even other green areas in cities, and these can actively help cool down. They provide shading, which helps people. They help with moisture cycling. So if we can understand what type, so which species or how to plant them, a tree down the road every couple of meters or a small cluster or a park, then we can actively use that to improve people's living conditions and even lower mortality related to heat in cities. So I studied at ETH Zürich here. I did my bachelor's in biology, and then I did a master's also in biology, but specifying on ecology and evolution. And I've done some other, projects and research stuff in other groups. I've always been interested in research. I just like the fact that it's your job to learn and think and be curious. That's incredible, Most free time is probably spent with music. I like to play instruments, mostly the violin, some clarinet, piano, but I play everything that I can get my hands on. I like to read. I do some figure skating. I'm mostly coaching at this point, but once in a while I'll try myself. Yeah. I guess a library, that would be great. It could be a public library. But I could choose the books. That would be a good use, I think. Could have sheet music. I'll go with library, but it could store more than books or stuff.